Hey, what's up, Budget Yu-Gi-Oh players? This is Brian with Budget Yu-Gi-Oh. Today we have another card profile or discussion, whatever you want to call it. This one is for the third promo card from the upcoming 2019 Megatins, and we're talking about Dimension Shifter. It's a level 6 spellcaster, dark attribute, 1200 attack, 2200 defense. It has a quick effect that reads as follows. If you have no cards in your graveyard, which is the activation condition, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard as a cost. Until the end of the next turn, any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead. So until the end of the next turn means your opponent's turn is when you're activating this, assuming that's probably when you're going to use it. That means on your turn, all the cards sent to your graveyard will still be banished. So, there's some hype around this because, yes, it definitely shuts down pretty much like every deck. Like, not even just combo decks, but like, Salamangreat. Plus, like, I think True Draco can't get some of their effects, maybe. And then, I play zombies, that will ruin me. So this will basically buy you a turn, right? So I think it's balanced though, because you can't play this and then combo off and then basically act as if you were going first. Instead, you're also going to shut down your own graveyard. And, I don't know of any current deck that benefits from banishing all the cards. I mean, there's definitely some monsters that want to get banished, but overall, it's such a heavy graveyard effect and meta currently. So I can see this card I think people are going to try this card out and realize that it doesn't work in a lot of decks. So they're going to opt for the other two cards to counteract combo decks and basically any monster combos. Dimension Shifter, it's very specific. If you can find a deck that it works in, it's going to be amazing. But the thing is, because of the activation requirement, if you have no cards in your graveyard, that's the only time you can activate this. Which means if it's turn 2 and then you draw into this after you sided in 3 of them, you basically just bricked yourself, which is kind of horrible. So that's the downside of these promo cards, is that they're super powerful, but if you don't see them on turn 2, or in your opening hand basically, then you're not going to be able to use these cards optimally. And with this one in particular, I don't know. At the very least, if you're playing a deck that uses a lot of traps maybe or something, where you can activate Dimension Shifter, and then assuming your opponent just kind of ends their turn with maybe they've got one monster on board, they've got one back row or something, and then they've got like a hand trap in their hand. That's still good because they didn't get to set up their board, but now it allows you to set up your trap cards and your spell cards face down, and you can now set Solemn Judgments, you can set Solemn Strikes, you can set crackdowns or anything that you really need to disrupt your opponent. So this gives you a fighting chance. I think people are going to try to make this work. I think it's going to fall short unless there's a deck that can really make use of banishing. So, in fact, if there's a deck that combos based off of all their monsters being banished, then you might even main deck this in that, and then you play this, and then you send all your monsters to the graveyard, but then they get banished, right? If they get banished, if the monsters have some kind of effects to like special summon themselves or to draw cards or something, this card might actually be abused for different reasons. So you guys, if you are creative, then find a way to brick this card, man. But I think for the most part, this is balanced for what it is meant to be. But of course, Konami always designs these cards with one intention in mind, and then it gets broken by some deck that wasn't intended, and then the cards get banned. So you never know. I wouldn't expect this to get hit ever, but crazier things have happened in the Yu-Gi-Oh TCG. So in terms of costs, like monetary costs for what this card is valued, I think this is going to be around $3 to $5, really just depending on how much play it gets. I honestly expect this to be at $5 in the beginning, and then people will try it out, realize they don't like it, and then it should probably drop to $2 to $3 in a year or so until it comes back, and then maybe people will reconsider that. So if you can find these for a reasonable price, or if you can open them up if you buy some tins, then I would probably hold on to this and just keep in your binder or something. It might end up being really good against particular decks. So yeah, Dimension Shifter. I really like the artwork. It's pretty cool looking. I don't know if that's a girl or not, but that's I do love how these cards look. Konami has been doing pretty good jobs with the artwork on certain cards, and yeah, props to the Konami design team for making this. I like their steps to try and solve the rampant combo decks, and this is just another tool that we have in our arsenal. So if you liked the video, be sure to hit the like button, and if you want more budget Yu-Gi-Oh content, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to post more frequently. I just started this YouTube channel up after quitting Yu-Gi-Oh 7 years ago, and just getting back into the game, and making these videos really helps me keep in touch with the community and keep in mind like everything that's happening in the game in 2019 and moving forward. So yeah, if you like the budget Yu-Gi-Oh series, be sure to subscribe, and I really appreciate it. So that's it for this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.